watch out for those man-eating jackrabbits and that killer cacti. Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
So great.
We began our morning show with that song for the entire time we were in Chicago, and welcome back. It's Mason and Remy, and this is the episode we talk about the Chicago chapter of our Eras tour. When we last left, we were working mornings and afternoons on two different stations in St. Louis. We had seen a ton of success, and that didn't matter because there was something else happening in another world, and somebody made some decisions, and you know, whatever success you have doesn't matter in that moment, decisions and reasons. And so we were not doing mornings anymore. We were doing afternoons now. And we said, we want to do mornings. So they said, okay, watch what you ask for. Go do mornings on the oldies station. So we did both. That's where we were. We did mornings on KLOU and we did afternoons on the Bull for, I want to say it was a year, maybe two, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So how did we get the call to go up to Chicago? We talked a little bit about that at the end of the last episode. So we'll talk about what it's like to be in this big city. When you're in radio, or really television as well, when you're talking about cities, you're talking about market size and you're talking about success at the top end. Like when you start in cities like I did, I was in mid-Michigan. The Tri-Cities. I believe it was like market number 130, 150, somewhere around there. Bloomington, normal, even smaller, 250, if I remember correctly. St. Louis, right around 20. And New York, number 1, right? LA, number 2. I think Chicago was number 3. Might have moved now because Houston was coming up at the time.
I think it's still number 3.
Is it? Okay. But that's the goal when you're in radio, right? Like the only thing bigger than getting into a big market is getting on in several big markets, which is that syndication deal, the great pie in the sky deal, the carrot that they dangle to try and get everybody to work a little harder. So what was it like? We're going to cover our Chicago era in this episode. The people with the influence over the show did what they wanted to do. This is the same group that when we came to town said, all right, guys, welcome to Chicago. Make a viral video. Like that is not that easy, but they had seen us do it in St. Louis. You've done it before, do it again, sure. And this is the era where you would go to a basketball game and you'd see like some big guy in the crowd. And when a song starts, suddenly he'd take his shirt off and he'd have the logo and he's like doing a dance. And it's like, a silly viral moment. I mean, obviously staged, right? Or the guy who's like going to kiss some other girl and pour his beer on somebody, right? Like this was the era of social media surprises.
Flash mobs.
Yeah, flash mobs. Oh my God, they wanted us to do a flash mob, you guys. And it was such a played out thing at the time. And I'm pretty sure it still happened. Like they still made those things happen. They still got the big guy to do the dance with the big 95.5 logo on his belly or something. And for us, we wanted to do more. We wanted to do Lou Malnats and we wanted to do songs and our own creative stuff. Do you happen to have that video that we made when they said go viral?
We had the idea because the T-Rex costume was super popular, the inflatable T-Rex costume.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
And what was it? It was like we wanted to create a channel and a character that nobody knew who was behind it, but this T-Rex would just show up in random parts of Chicago. And I don't know, I think it did okay. But this is I'll play the first video that we had the idea of, the T-Rex going to the Field Museum.
Okay.
This is obviously a very different video for us. You'd never know that it was like we were behind it.
But that was the idea, right? Like we didn't want people to know that we were doing it. I feel like over time, when people found out that you worked in radio, they were like, and things that you were doing were suddenly less cool. Oh, this is it.
The real moment when T-Rex sees,
2, right?
relatives.
That's Sue the T-Rex. and our T-Rex is devastated. Folks, this is cinema. Sound effect. A little girl is waving at the T-Rex who is mourning Sue. Clearly a relative.
Putting flowers on the gravestone. So yeah, I won't play the rest of this because there's definitely Jurassic Park music in there.
Okay, yeah.
But this is hilarious because I went back and I got this random idea. I was like, what could possibly, what view count could these possibly be at these days? And I think it was maybe 2 or 3 months ago when I went back to this page. That video has 1.1 million views on it.
Guys,
it was
we did
filmed 8 years ago. We did it. We made a viral video.
We finally did it. We finally did it.
On an account that nobody knows we were a part of. It's called Chicago T-Rex. It also has 5,000 subscribers randomly. Like who's subscribing to this?
Is this also, are there any other T-Rex videos that you want to show? Because I feel like there were a few different things that we did. We had a whole strategy for Chicago T-Rex at one point. And this is not the first time. We had like some weird things like this feels a lot like New Country Nights or Unhappy Hot Dog or Terrible Morning Show or Interweb Explosion. We had so many of these ideas that we were like, let's go. But the resources, the time, right? We had such a hard time actually making them happen. And it's so nice to go back and be like, hey, this one actually worked.
Yeah.
You have another video?
Yeah, my wife was a ballet dancer and she had a bunch of connections at Chicago Ballet. So the T-Rex auditioned for
Ballet Chicago. Yeah. Look at those shoes, by the way.
Like regular ballet music, like they would be doing for class, and then led into Jurassic Park. It was awesome, and the girls and the guys that there just started laughing at it because it was such an abrupt change. But
started to realize funny. It. Yes. Look at the shoes on you, by the way. That's you in that costume, right?
That's me. Yeah.
Look at the ballet shoes. It's so funny.
So we did one where we were at Millennium Park and we were ice skating. There was a couple other shorts here and there, but those are the 3 main videos, and they all have several thousand views on them, which is very funny to me at this point.
So yeah, the strategy was to develop this like hidden viral thing, and then we would be responsible for it. I don't think we ever had a plan of like how we would reveal it, but we wanted to do this kind of like subterfuge under the radar thing to show that we could. And I mean, years later, it turns out we did. I wish they had known it at the time. We might have actually still kept that job, but